Hey everybody, welcome back to When Harry Met Board Games. Today we're going to have another unboxing video. Today we're going to be unboxing this right here. This is the Once and Future Kang scenario pack for Marvel Champions, the card game. I'm a big fan of Marvel Champions. I'm getting ready to play this scenario pack for the first time, and I figured let me unbox it for the world to see and enjoy with me. So let's just open this package right here, and as is usual with these scenario packs, we get a little brochure leaflet rule book here. Not too thick. It's basically just explaining any additional rules or keywords for that matter that might be relevant to this particular scenario. We have this right here. Nice little cover art if players want to save this. There are people that I know that save these and collect these. And then we've got the cards, and we're gonna peel back the shrink wrap and see what's inside here. Alrighty here. So first of all, we've got the villain for this scenario, which is Kang the Conqueror. And as usual, we can see that there are multiple stages, but there are multiple of these villains here, and I've heard about this particular scenario, which is playing thematically on Kang and all the different versions of Kang across the various multiverses. So we've got Kang the Conqueror, Kang Immortus, we got Kang Iron Lad, we've got Kang Ramatut, we've got Kang the Scarlet Centurion, and we've got Kang the Conqueror once again on level 3. So apparently on level 1 or stage 1 and stage 3, he's just going to be Kang the Conqueror. But in stage 2, he's got these multiple personalities or variants you're going to have to deal with. And they each have different stats accordingly. So let's just look at Kang the Conqueror here. He has toughness, which means he enters play with a tough status card. He has this forced interrupt ability. When Kang attacks you, you either place one threat on the main scheme or he gets +2 attack for this attack. So that's something to factor in. When defeated, you advance the main scheme to stage 2 at the end of the phase. Okay, so the main scheme will automatically advance once he is defeated. We've got Kang Immortus, also with toughness. This villain cannot take damage while a minion is in play. So basically all minions become guards. Even better than guards, because it says not only that he cannot be attacked, he can't even sustain any damage. When defeated, remove the Chronopolis from the game. At the end of the phase, join another game area. Okay. We've got Kang Iron Lad. He has Retaliate 1 plus Toughness. And when defeated, remove Inexorable Fate from the game. At the end of the phase, join another game area. So that's interesting. I see the repeated mention of this other game area. I'm sure it's going to be thoroughly explained in the rulebook here. And then we have Kang Ramatut, Toughness. This villain gets a +1 attack for each obligation in play. Remove the Realm of Ramatut from the game. At the end of the phase, join another game. Okay. Then we have Scarlet Centurion. Again, toughness. This villain attacks. His attacks gain piercing. When defeated, remove the present future war from the game. At the end of the phase, join another game area. Maybe all of these villains are in play simultaneously. You guys in the comment section who have played this scenario, please let me know. All right, and then finally, stage 3, toughness. When Kang attacks you, either place one threat. It's the same condition as his stage 1 card. And when defeated, the players win the game. Well, usually, typically in Marvel Champions, you fight a villain and you defeat them at 2 stages. And there is no 3rd stage. And depending on the difficulty level, you'll determine which 2 stages you want. It might be different for this particular scenario. Now we've got his main scheme cards here. We got Kang's Arrival. We've got the 1A and the 1B side. It says here, when revealed, deal each player an encounter card. So that's Exciting way to start the game. If this stage is completed, the players lose the game. Interesting. And then we have all this other main scheme, the Chronopolis. So there's multiple main schemes here. And I wonder how this works, because it says here that when he's defeated, you advance the main scheme to stage 2 at the end of the phase. So I guess this advancing is not the same as it being completed, right? As long as you prevent the threat tokens from being placed there, that's fine. And then it would advance to number 2. So that's an interesting situation. Usually it's the final stage of the main scheme that will say these words. When completed, players lose the game. But you even have the chance of losing this way if you're not too careful. And all of these different main schemes corresponding with the different variants of Kang here. And I guess as you defeat the different variants, you will be able to remove these main schemes. And now, let's look at the bottom here. These guys have pretty solid hit points. All the stage 2 have 18 per player. Stage 3 has 20 per player. Stage 1 is the weakest at 12 per player. Okay. And then here are the Kang encounter cards. We have temporal shields. There are attachments. You attach them to Kang. In particular, when Kang is attacked, discard temporal shield, prevent all damage from this attack, and deal 1 damage to the attacker. Okay? And there are 2 copies of that card. We've got this other attachment, future weapon, also attached to Kang. When Kang attacks, the attack gains overkill. If this attack damages a hero, that hero is stunned. After this attack, discard future weapons. So it's just a one-time benefit for the villain. We have this attachment here, frozen in time. You attach it to your identity. When attached character would ready, discard this card instead. So that would prevent them from being able to ready. Okay, then we have some minions here. We've got some macrobots here. We've got 3 of these. They have 4 HP. They are guards, and they have Retaliate 1. You give Kang a tough status card if they are revealed as a boost. Then we have these weakened obligations. So I mentioned earlier, there was a modifier here based on the amount of obligations in play. And I wonder what that meant. Typically speaking, every hero character has an obligation shuffled into the encounter deck, and they may have that obligation come out to hurt them during the course of the game. However, typically speaking, these encounters or these obligations are resolved immediately and discarded. However, here are some obligation cards, and I see multiple of them, that seem to remain in play. It says, force response. After you use basic hero power, take 1 damage. Alter ego action. Discard a resource card from your hand. Discard this obligation. Now, these particular obligations do have ways of removing them. You can take an alter ego action and discard a fist resource from your hand, and you could discard this Now, these obligation cards do have a way of removing them. You can use alter ego actions for the most part and spend particular resources, and you can remove them or have them discarded. That way they will not be in play and they will not modify. Who is it? This guy here, Ramatut here, who gets +1 attack for each obligation in play. So we have this weakened obligation, stolen memories, depowered, time travel hijinks. We have some side schemes here. Corrupted time stream. Players cannot trigger alter ego action abilities on obligations. So if that's out there, it will really limit you as to how you can remove these obligations. When revealed, each player must either discard 1 random card from hand or place 2 threat here. We got Kang's Dominion. Side scheme, Kang cannot take damage. Deal the player who defeated this scheme an encounter card. And we have a few of these Kang's Dominion, 4 of them to be exact. We have this pinned down side scheme with the crisis icon here. It says, when revealed, place 2 threat here for each obligation in play. So these can stack and they can piggyback off of one another. Finally, we have this Rampage side scheme, and it says here, when defeated, discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until a minion is discarded. Put that minion into play, engage with the player who defeated this scheme. Okay, so those seem to be most of the encounter cards in Kang's encounter set. We're going to open up this additional pack of cards and see what else is in here. Okay, so we have an additional side scheme for Kang's encounter cards. It is another copy of Rampage. Okay, so we'll set that aside there. We've got these Treachery cards, Energy Blast, 2 copies of them. Alter Ego, discard an ally or support you control. If you cannot, discard gain Surge. And if you're in hero form, Kang attacks you. We've got 2 copies of those. We've got this Manipulated Time Stream Treachery card. It says, when revealed, discard each event from your hand. If no events are discarded this way, this card gains Surge. There's only 1 copy of that. We have these Time Travel Tactics. It has a Surge keyword, not to mention that when it's revealed, each player takes 1 indirect damage for each obligation in their play area. And that is 2 copies of that card. And then we have Past Machinations, Insight 1. When revealed, each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a different obligation and reveals it, and then shuffle the encounter deck. And that is it as far as the Kang encounter deck goes. Those are all his cards. And now, of course, we have some additional modulars, which I always appreciate, the additional modular sets that these scenario packs come with. And here we have this temporal modular set that comes with 7 different cards. We have this Ancient Warrior Minion. We have 3 copies of this card, and it has 1 scheme, 2 attack, and it has the Quick Strike keyword, which means when it's revealed, when it engages a player, it immediately resolves an attack action. Here they have 2 HP, so they're pretty weak. Then we have this Chitauri Soldier, and there are 2 copies of this Chitauri Soldier, and each of them has 1 scheme, 1 attack. It has this Force Interrupt. When Chitauri Soldier attacks you, discard the top card of the encounter deck. Take indirect damage equal to the number of boost icons on that card. Okay, and he has 3 HP. Then we have the Tyrannosaurus Rex, and this minion has no scheme, but 3 attack, enters with a toughness, and his attacks gain piercing, and moreover, he has 6 HP, so he might be around for a while. Then we have this Time Portal side scheme. When this scheme is defeated, shuffle it into the encounter deck instead of discarding it. Okay, and then we have, so now we have Expert Kang. So apparently, these cards here are for when you want to play Expert Kang. And I was right about my hunch. It appears that you have all of these cards, the Stage 1 and the Stage 2 cards, and the Stage 3 in an individual encounter. I guess the difference between Stage 1 or Expert and Standard in this case would be you would use this set of cards for Standard and this set of cards for Expert. Here, the characters have higher HP per player count, and it seems that they have higher scheme and attack stats, and probably higher modifying abilities here as well. So that's good to know that if you're up for this challenge, you have that option. Okay. Then we have another modular set here. We have Anachronauts here, and we have Apocryphus here with 1 scheme and 3 attack. When revealed, discard an ally or support you control. Has 4 HP. We have Death Hunt 9000 with 1 scheme, 1 attack. Enters with a toughness card. He is villainous, which means that when he activates, you also give him a boost card, as you would with the villain. You've got Sir Raston here with 1 scheme and 2 attack. He's a guard, and he has Retaliate 1. You have Terminatrix here. 2 scheme, 2 attack, Quick Strike. Terminatrix attacks gain piercing, and she has 5 HP. Then we have Wild Run here with 1 scheme, 2 attack. When revealed, discard 1 random card from your hand. He's got 5 HP. And then we have this scheme. This is a pretty big modular, up to 9 cards here. This side scheme, the Anachronauts. When defeated, shuffle each temporal card in the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. Okay. I have a second copy of that card. And we have this Kang's Chosen Treachery. We have 2 copies of it in Site 1. It says, when revealed, discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until a temporal minion is discarded. Reveal that minion. Okay. And then here we have the final modular for this scenario pack, and it is the Master of Time. And it includes Kang as an additional minion, as if you don't have your hands full with Kang and all of his variants as part of the main villain. You also have this Kang minion to deal with. Comes in with toughness. He is villainous, so again, you're using a boost card when he activates. And Kang, Master of Time, he gets +1 scheme and +1 attack for each obligation in your play area. Then we have Time Displaced Soldier with 1 scheme, 2 attack. He has Insight 1 and Surge, and he has 3 HP. And we have 2 copies of that. We have the Fear of Kang obligations, so this modular will add additional obligations to this potential scenario. It says you cannot attack Kang, so that's good to know. Alter Ego action, discard a random card from your hand, discard this obligation. Now, it's interesting because it says you cannot discard Kang, and here we have Kang, so I guess you wouldn't be able to discard or attack any version of Kang. It says there are 2 copies of this Fear of Kang. Now we have the side scheme, Light of Centuries Sphere. When defeated, discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until a minion is discarded. Put that minion into play, engage with the player who defeated this scheme. Okay, and then we have these 2 copies of Ancient Grudge, a treachery card. It says Kang, Master of Time. So in particular, this is referring to this Kang, right? Because every Kang has, I guess, a nickname in his, in parentheses. Here, this particular Kang, Master of Time, it says he activates against you. If Kang, Master of Time is not in play, search the encounter deck and discard pile for Kang, Master of Time, and put him into play, engage with you, shuffle the encounter deck. And that's it. All right, those are all the cards in this scenario pack. I am really excited to play this scenario. I've heard lots of things about this scenario. For a lot of people, this is the most unique and enjoyable and fun scenario. And from what I've seen already, just unrevealing these cards here, I am really excited to get this to the table. Please comment down below. Tell me if you've played this scenario, what you think about it, what I should look out for. This is Harry saying take care, everybody. Stay safe, stay healthy, and have fun gaming. Bye-bye.